How to set multiple monitors with laptop and docking station. I'm setting up my workstation right here with multiple monitors and my M1 MacBook, the pluggable UD-6950Z. This thing is gonna allow my M1 MacBook to connect to 2 monitors. I'm gonna put 2 monitors right here. Let's go. Our first monitor, this one is 4K resolution. Yes, we're gonna have 4K resolution monitor. Oh yeah, it's gonna be sweet. We'll put this over here. Monitor number 2. Now this one could also be 4K, but right here we have a 1080p monitor, which is perfectly fine. The cool thing about this dock is it allows you to have up to 2 4K resolution monitor at 60 Hz per display. This docking station is exceptionally powerful. Let's wire up the monitor right now. This pluggable power strip has 12 outlets and it's actually a surge protector. 4,320 joules of surge protection, and you got 2 USB ports right there. This one has a 6-feet cable, and when you plug it in, it lights up right there. Let's go ahead and use this to power our computer. So we're gonna keep this over here on the side. This surge protector is very smart. It knows when it's protected and when it's grounded. Right now, we are in our tiny homes with the EcoFlow power kit, and it's not properly grounded. If you put this in, you'll see right here, it's protected because this is still protecting the circuits, but it's not grounded. This part is not lit up. You see how that tells you exactly what's going on? Now let me show you the difference when we go to a grounded plug. For example, right here, we are connected to our home, and when we plug it into our home, you see we have the grounded light right here and the protected light. This is when we have proper grounding and proper protection. So it knows what type of situation we have. So very cool surge protector. This is the only surge protector I know that tells you when circuits are protected and when circuits are grounded and they are independent. Pretty awesome, right? So anyway, we're gonna use this one in our setup right here, and in our tiny home, we will not be grounded, but we will still be protected. So we're gonna use this power surge protector for sure, because it's gonna protect us. And that's why in our tiny home, you'll see that it's not grounded, but it is protected. How to set multiple monitors with laptop and docking station. So this is a very important setup, especially with the M1 MacBook, as well as the M2 MacBook, that they have problems connecting natively. This is very difficult to do without the proper hardware, because the M1 MacBook cannot connect to multiple monitors natively. And that's why this dock is so powerful. Not only will this dock allow us to connect 2 monitors, but it will allow us to connect to 2 monitors up to 4K resolution and up to 60 Hz each monitor. So right now, for today's demonstration, we have 1 4K monitor and 1 1080p, and it's gonna connect to our M1 MacBook right here. And this is the pluggable dock, very powerful dock right here. The UD-6950Z, very powerful pluggable dock. And the way it's able to accomplish this is that it uses what's right here, says display link technology. Plug and display. That is what's going to allow us to connect this laptop to 2 external monitor. And again, this is the M1 MacBook right here. First thing we need to do is make sure that monitors have power, obviously. So let's wire up the power for the monitor. Each monitor will have its own power adapter or power cable. Just go ahead and power it up. This monitor has a power adapter that comes out over here, and it goes to a power adapter. This is the AC adapter. It connects to here, and then this one will connect to your surge protector. So wire this up as any other monitor. Sometimes people always ask, does it have to be special dual display monitor? No, you just need 2 monitors. That's all it is. 2 4K monitors or 1080p monitors. It doesn't matter resolution, because this dock allows you to connect up to 2 4K monitors at 60 Hz each. Very powerful dock. This is a must-have if you're gonna connect the M1 MacBook or any M1 computer to multiple monitors. This is a must-have solution right here. Now, if you don't need 4K, there's another version of the display dock that you can get that's 1080p, but I recommend this because if you ever upgrade to 4K, and you should, because 4K is super sharp, you can fit more on the desktop, this is the one to get. Again, this is a UD-6950Z, extremely powerful and very, very popular docking station for setting up dual monitors on a laptop, especially the M1 MacBooks. And when I say M1 MacBook, I'm including M1 MacBook Air, M1 MacBook Pro, all the M1 chips, right? And of course, it works with M2 chip as well. But M1s usually struggle with having multiple display because the M1 technology is designed to not have more than 1 external display. Crazy, right? That's the situation, and that's why we need this pluggable dock to get 2 monitor outputs for this particular M1 laptop. Plug up your power. So this one, we're just gonna hook it up to the surge protector. Right here, here's our nice pluggable surge protector. We'll just go ahead and hook up this one right there. That's monitor number 1, now has power. Monitor number 2 also needs power. So for monitor number 2, this one has the power connection cable connect directly onto it. So this one doesn't have a power adapter. So this one has the power adapter built in, and the cable is just like this. So we'll plug this one into our outlet to power up this monitor right here. Plug up the second monitor, use this socket right there. All right, so both monitor has power now. And next, you need to have the HDMI out on the monitors. Now this dock right here actually is very advanced. Let me actually open up the dock so you can see in a dock right here. Boom, very compact dock, right? Look at this. You have 2 display outputs. Display number 1 and display number 2. And for display number 1, you can choose either HDMI or a display port. And same thing with display number 2, you can choose either HDMI or display port. The nice thing about this configuration is that you don't need any adapters. Whether the monitor is HDMI or your monitor is DisplayPort, you plug it directly into this unit and you're good to go. In our case, both of these are HDMI monitors, and I'll show you how that works. So here is the HDMI cable, and this monitor has an HDMI output. If you look down here, you'll be able to see the HDMI output. We're gonna go ahead and just use the HDMI cable right here. This is the HDMI cable right here, an HDMI cable, and we'll plug it into one of the inputs on the monitor like that. That's HDMI. So then this HDMI will go into our hub. We can make this monitor number 1 or number 2. It doesn't really matter. So we'll just call this display number 1 right there. All right. And then this one will also use HDMI. So here's another HDMI to HDMI cable. And this one has the HDMI output right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this one to the HDMI output right here. Boom. And then we have this cable. So this is the HDMI from this monitor. We'll simply connect it to the docking station. HDMI 2 right here. Boom. All right. So those are 2 HDMI. Now the docking station itself needs power. So it includes the power adapter in the docking station. So let me grab that right here. So in here you also have cables. So this is the power adapter for this docking station. This docking station right here, this one is the model number UD-6950Z. Very powerful pluggable docking station. And again, it has the 2 outputs, right? It needs power, and the power adapter is included. This power adapter right here will connect to the dock over here, just like that. And it has a pretty nice wire, which we need because it's gonna go down to the surge protector. Let's go ahead and power up our dock. This will go down to the surge protector down below. Connected to the surge protector, and boom, like that. So now, our dock has power. As you can see, it has a little blue light right there showing that it has power. So now you're wondering, great, I got my 2 monitors powered up, perfect. Monitor number 1, monitor number 2. So they both have power and they're both connected to our pluggable hub. So now, how do we get this hub to connect to our laptop? Well, that's easy, because in this kit that comes with the hub, you got 2 cables, because you could connect via USB 3.0 or USB-C. You have 2 options, and I'll show you how to use both options right now. There's these 2 cables, and obviously this square end right here will connect to the hub, and it connects right here. So that means you can use this cable and connect it right here, and this one will connect to your computer if you have a USB-C right here. Or if your computer is USB-A, you can use the other cable instead. So you can use the other included cable with the hub that will connect over here to the hub. And now this one is a USB-A that will connect to your computer. That's a USB-A. So you have a choice of whether to connect to USB-A or USB-C. Of course, with the M1 MACBOok, you're gonna use the one that has USB-C. But this is not my only laptop. I also have a PC laptop that I like to use for my work. And for that laptop, it's USB-A, so I can still connect to this dock via that USB-A port. And just because it's a dock, now I can connect any laptop I want to quickly utilize these monitors. And not only do I utilize the monitor, I also have crazy access too. I have a gigabit Ethernet port right here and 4 USB 3.0 ports right here, as well as another 2 USB 3.0 port here and an audio input output port right there. So you can see this dock is loaded with stuff, but more importantly, we really appreciate the fact that it gives us 2 4K display outputs at up to 60 Hz. That's incredible, magical feature of this pluggable dock. This is why this dock is essential for allowing this setup to work on an M1 Mac. Now that we have that figured out, so for us, we're gonna choose the one that has a USB-C output because our laptop is USB-C, not USB-A. But again, both of these work, and based on your laptop, you will pick one or the other. But in our case, M1 MacBook uses USB-C, so we don't need this one. We're gonna need this one. Open up this cable right here. Continue on our journey of how to set up multiple monitors with laptop and docking station. Let's go ahead and use the USB here that connects to USB-C for our laptop. So this cable right here will go into our dock right here. Boom. And then this part will go into our laptop. And that's one cable that's going to connect to our laptop right now. And we'll go ahead and connect it to our laptop right here because this is a USB-C port on the laptop. And this is the pluggable cable that will connect the dock to our laptop. Oh, but there's more to do than just connecting this. So one thing you should know is that this is not a plug and play solution, it's a plug and display solution, as you see right here. And the reason why it's plug and display is because you actually need to install drivers onto your laptop before this works. So let's go ahead and install the drivers. All right, so now that we have unlocked our laptop, it says allow accessory to connect. Do you want to connect a generic 4-port USB 3.1 hub to this Mac? Sure, we can allow that. Do we need the drivers? We'll see. All right, so now we connected the hub. Both these monitors, we need to make sure we're selecting the HDMI port. So let's make sure the monitor's on. We're gonna turn on the power button right here. Turn on the monitor right here. Monitor is on. Innocence. All right, so the first monitor is on. We used the HDMI 1 port earlier, so just make sure you know which HDMI port you plugged it into. So we're gonna go ahead and select the HDMI 1 port right here. Input signal. We're gonna use HDMI 1 because that's the port we connected it into. If you connect it to HDMI 2, select HDMI 2. So select your port. So now we connected to HDMI 1 and it says no sleep. So we need drivers. We'll just double check with this one over here. This monitor right here, same deal. Okay, so this one is also looking at the HDMI cable right here. So no HDMI. So it knows to check. So there's no HDMI ports so far. We need to get the display link driver for the Mac. Go ahead and search for display link drivers for Mac. The first result you should get is this one from Synaptic. Now notice it's not pluggable, it's from Synaptic. That's because this is the creators of the display link technology. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna download Display Link Mac OS software, and we need the Display Link Manager. Based on which version of your OS, you get the right Display Link Manager, right? For even older versions here. So for Big Sur, Monterey, or Ventura, use this driver. You can check which version of the OS you have by going to your Apple option right here. So if I go to About, you see it says Ventura 13.3.1. So we're covered. So let's go ahead and download this one. And it looks like the package is already downloaded. We're gonna go ahead and open this and we're gonna install the drivers. So it's gonna install display link driver. We're gonna go agree to the license, install to our hard drive right there, and go to default location and give it access to the download folder so it can install. Alright, display would like to record? Sure. Give it the option to allow screen recording for Display Link Manager. This is a must. You have to do this because basically the Display Link Manager is using the capability of recording screen to output the display to your monitor. So you have to enable that. And you have to use your password, or if you have your fingerprint set up, you can use your fingerprint to allow for that authorization. So now that you allow the screen recording, you have to quit and reopen the Display Link Manager by clicking right here. So click there and it will quit and reopen the Display Link Manager. Now we have Display Link Manager set up. We can go ahead and close out here and it says installation is successful, and close, and you'll see, ta-da! The one display is already open right there. And we should have the second one coming up right now. Let me see. Did the second one, maybe we connected to display HDMI 2? Let me see. Oh yeah, we put on HDMI 2. So now both monitors are powered up. So if you did not install the drivers, you wouldn't have this display. So once you install the drivers, you'll see now you have a display right here. And look at this. You can drag it from here to here, and even down there. So we're actually having 3 monitors, including the laptop. That is how you set multiple monitors. And if you want to configure the orientation of the monitor, for example, since this one is at the bottom, let's put these ones together so it looks even nicer, right? So you have the dock right here. We can bring this monitor closer over here and this monitor even closer over here to complete our double monitor setup, right? And also, did you guys notice the resolution of this one? Let me show you right here. So if I close this browser right now and I'll go to the settings, which is down here, we're gonna go to our settings and we're gonna open up the settings right here, system settings, and then let me bring this up over here so you can see better. Our system settings, it will show us our display. So go to displays right here, click on that, and it shows you, look at that, you have 3 displays. You have this display, which is now showing at 1080p, but you can change it to 4K resolution. So you see how big this is right now? I can change it to 4K and watch what happens when I change it to 4K. Boom, you see that tiny resolution? That's because it's 4K resolution. Also notice it's 60 Hertz. That's really good. This is 4K 60 Hertz. And if I click over this one's at 1080p. That's this monitor over here. And if you drag it over, you can see it is bigger because it's 1080p. So now you see that this one is 4K resolution, and you can also change the arrangement by clicking right here. We can change this one back to 1080p for demonstration purposes because it makes it a little bit easier to see when it's 1080p, right? Let me click on the arrange button right here, and this is where you can arrange the different monitors. Basically, we have this one, which is the 4K monitor. I know it because that's the model number of this monitor right here. And then over here, we have this monitor, and that is the Dell monitor. And then over here, this one is the little computer here. So what we want is this mirror image. Our laptop is not over here, right? Because this is saying that this monitor is here, this monitor is here, and this laptop is way over here. We don't want that. We want the laptop to be down here. Because right now, the way it works is I can drag from here over here and then over here. For example, if I want to drag this right here, this window, if I drag it this way, it'll go over here, and if I drag it over here, it will continue going here, right? So it's not exactly the orientation we want. So we want to move this built-in display down here, below these two, just the way it's configured here. So now I can go here, and I can go down, and I can go up. You see how that happened? Again, if I drag something, I can drag here, or I can drag down to here. So now we have triple monitor setup, and see how smooth it is? It's actually very smooth. Let's go ahead and click done here to save these settings. Let's go ahead and open up a browser window. Let's go watch a movie trailer real quick right here. So if we go to youtube.com, let's go to a sample of a Street Fighter 6 trailer right here, and we can just play this one right here. We have a Street Fighter 6 trailer, and I will move this. Let me turn off the audio. Let's get into some action right here. Boom, right here. And I can move this screen over here. Oh, look at that. And you still have the display, right? I can move it down here. Boom, and it's still showing over here. See, I can move it up here, and we got it up here too. So it's got very smooth, 60 Hertz. That's very fast refresh rate. This one right there, and this one over here. So all of it is showing. So now let's push this setup to the limit. Let's actually make this display right here go back to 4K. Let's open up our display again, and we're gonna push it to the limit. Remember how I said this can do 4K? Because we have the pluggable, and this pluggable is a very powerful one that does 4K resolution. So this pluggable is the UD-6950Z. Very, very powerful one. And this one right here, of course, we have the link to this down below if you're interested in getting this one. And as it says right here, it can support 2 DisplayPort or HDMI connected at resolutions up to 4K 60 Hertz per display. This thing is beautiful, amazing power on this unit. So let's go ahead and push this thing right here, and we're gonna go to our displays, and we are going to push this monitor right here, this one here, to do 4K, and you'll see it shrinks. That means this is very high resolution over here, and we're gonna make sure we have the arrangement correctly set up again. So let's go ahead and click up the arrangement. And this one is so big, you see how it takes up all the space right here? We can just move this one up here so it's arranged properly, but look at that crazy display there. So let's go ahead and click done. And now we're gonna push this to a limit. We're gonna play it right here, but you know what? We are going to duplicate this over here and maybe even duplicate it one more time. So you see what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna put this one over here, and this is 4K resolution. Oh my gosh, and look at that. It's gonna be very smooth, buttery smooth right there. And this one right here is playing, we're gonna move one down here to this monitor right here and make this one full screen, and we're gonna play this one over here and make this one full screen. And oh my gosh, let's go. Let's get this one full screen on this one right now with the full screen 4K, and boom, there we go, guys. We have 3 displays powered by the M1 MacBook right here through this pluggable UD-6950Z. This one is at 4K 60Hz. We could have another 4K 60Hz, but in this case we have a 1080p just because that's a 1080p monitor. But you can see how powerful this setup is. And there we go, guys. This was only possible by using the pluggable UD-6950Z. This is an amazing pluggable dock that does all this, but there's other benefits too. Remember, we said there's a gigabit port there, and there's also 6 USB 3.0 ports, so that means you can connect hardwire Ethernet here, because on this MacBook, there's no gigabit Ethernet, so that's very fast Ethernet too, as well as being able to connect your keyboard and your mouse to this thing, so then you could easily dock the station and have access to your keyboard and mouse very quickly. But there you go. Now you can see the power of this setup, right? You have display. It's crazy. That is the M1 MacBook powering 2 external display up to 4K at 60 Hz each with pluggable UD-6950Z right here. This thing is a beast, and this is the unit right here. That is how you set up multiple monitors with laptop and docking station right here.